Hello, welcome everyone to Monday Night Magic. Woo! It's fun. I don't normally stream on a Monday night, but decided to because this is fun. What else am I gonna do after a long day of work in which I barely got any sleep? Sleep? Nah, that's not something I do. So, I'm gonna first play just a game or two of Magic the Gathering on MTG Arena so that you can like figure out what's happening, and then depending on what's going on at that point in time, when people join, we might have a bit more fun. I might try and make a deck or two for any suggestions or whatnot. Just like pick a color, I'll make a deck out of it, sort of thing. But I'll figure that out when we get to it. Until then, I'm just gonna do some games to try to finish these two quest lines I've got, which is just play a bunch of white spells. So, gonna do that, and we're gonna figure out how to really do stuff. Right now, I'm just trying to get the link to this video to work so that I can see the chat, because I still don't have a different I still don't have another monitor to be able to actually like keep it going and see what's going on. So I'm just trying to find the link so that I can copy it to people so that they can watch later. And then as soon as I get that done, we are just gonna jump right on in to actually playing. So, what the heck? Did not know that I had other videos up. Okay, that's what I get for closing Discord. Random jump scare of videos playing. So going into the store to see what artwork things that there are. No, game, don't close, there we go. Okay, cool, thank you, game, thank you. You got all these cool artworks. They're alternate arts. Not gonna, I don't even have that much of either version of in-game currency to be able to purchase any of these things. Arena announcements. Ooh, cool. I'll read those later, maybe, if I remember. Anyways, cast 30 green or white spells, and 30 white or black spells. Well, I have a deck that uses mono white, so we're gonna play that deck, because if I need to cast a white or green spell, and a white or black spell, I'm gonna play white, so I can get both. I guess I should explain what this client is. So, Magic the Gathering is a card game, and it's a ton of fun. I play it way too much, both in actual physical cards and on here, and just in general have a ton of fun playing it. It is a strategy card game that can get as complex as basically playing a computer. You can make a computer out of Magic cards. That's like the complexity level that Magic can get to. Or you can just have like, sorry, trying to take medication. And you can either have as complex as make a deck that will act like a computer, or as simple as I throw a spell at you, you die. I hit your face, you die. I win. You can do things like that. There are different, at least on Arena, there are different different ways to play, different validity in cards. Standard is the most recent set of the past 2 years. I think it's past 2 years. Alchemy is the one that is on Arena proper, in which they have different cards to actually edit. Like, they generate cards that don't actually exist, that you would not actually need. They have cards that change, basically. Alchemy is Magic the Gathering Arena's way to fix, quote-unquote fix, cards to make it so that they are more balanced, which is not always the case. Historic is play with cards from all of the sets that are on Arena. Explorer is currently supposed to be anything from, I think, Guilds of Ravnica or Theros, the first Theros set, one of those two, I don't remember exactly, to modern day, because the Arena client does not have all of those cards going back that far. Basically, they have a selected pool of cards that they have added to this client that they then have all the way from all the sets that this client does have until the beginning. And then bot match, you play against an AI, you can play whatever. They've got ranked mode, regular mode, and then brawl, which is essentially commander format, but 60 cards and slower and clunkier. I'm going to play this mono white soldiers deck. Basically, when I say mono white, there are 5 colors of Magic. There's white, blue, green, and red, and black. Each color has its own identity of what they do. In this case, I made a only white card deck based off of the theme of all of the creature type is soldier. So basically, this deck is play soldiers that make other soldiers bigger or generate more soldiers to then attack with more soldiers, and keep doing that, and keep doing that, and keep doing that until eventually you've overrun your opponent. Magic, you start at 20 life. You get to play a land each turn. You have instants and sorceries and creatures and enchantments and artifacts and lands and planeswalkers, and each thing does something different, can be played at different times. This looks like a decent hand. We've got disruption on their part. We've got making your soldiers bigger. We've got soldiers that actually are soldiers, which is the whole point. I've kind of just I don't know how to keep going. So a sorcery can only be played on your turn. A creature can only be played on your turn. In the top right corner of a card, which is this right here, this is the mana cost. That's how much mana or lands you need to have in order to be able to play that spell. Everything is a spell unless it is a land, then it is not a spell. But essentially, you need to cast spells to make the board bigger to then do more things to the board. Right now, I could play this and this. Let's see, let's do that. So there are different keywords. First strike tells you there, it means that this creature will hit first. Yeah, I doubt that they'll block. So in Magic, you attack the player. So I attack this person up here, and then this person up here can choose how they wish to put this creature in front of one of my creatures. But they don't necessarily have to do that. they can just choose to not do that. And in that case, they chose not to. I've got a lot of soldiers. I'm not going to attack because of the 4/4. I can't block, I can't attack anything and win in this sense, in the game sense of keeping my creatures alive. Okay, they're playing a slightly control deck. Mostly it looks like +1/+1 counters. They're just trying to slow me down. With 4 mana, I can activate this ability to find one card. I could play this and then play this guy. Actually, yeah. I think that's okay. Yay, now I have stuff. Still don't think I can attack. While I could get 2 creatures to get through, I do lose something that's slowing my opponent. They're not able to ramp as frequently. They're not putting more lands into play than they would otherwise. They're not getting a lot of their blue sources. Looks like they're mostly playing green, but this is blue as well. So they're only able to cast 1 spell a turn, which is really helping me keep up with them. Otherwise, they'd probably go pretty quick. Creatures I control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna play it. Yep. So all my creatures are bigger. We're gonna draw a card, I think, before I lose that mana. That's a land. We're gonna activate this ability. Let's play a Throbbin. Oh, my opponent did not want to sit through me playing more creatures and then overrunning them, which is understandable. I had lethal on board, but I wanted to make sure that I was super lethal. I wanted to crush them, not just kill them, crush them. I only got 9 spells, so at this rate, I will play at least 2 more games. Or if I get 9 each game, then I'll play a 4th game. Yeah, something I have learned about streaming is to try to keep talking. So, I'm going to keep talking and hope that no one gets annoyed by it, because you guys came to watch me. So, we're just going to keep talking. And nobody explodes. That's a game too. I should probably, maybe I could play that on stream. I don't actually know. I don't know if it's a board game or not. Ooh, that'd be fun too, to play board games on stream. Yeah. Man, now I want to do that. Why did I think that I wanted to do that? Or why did not? Sentence structure. Why did I not think about playing a board game as a stream topic? That'd be interesting. I would have to figure out how to do that without being seen at the same time. I don't know. This land has an activated ability to become a 2/2 soldier. Well, a 2/2 with any creature type. I would choose soldier. My opponent is playing at least a 3-color deck. Could be 4 or 5. If they spent money on this client. Granted, I've spent money on this client too, so I can't say too much about it. I definitely have spent some money. I'm not saying I haven't spent money ever, but I've definitely spent some money. And so it's the fact that they have fancy stuff and are willing to spend money on the artwork makes it more interesting to me. I guess I should probably explain some of these things. So there are how do I word this? There are activated abilities and there are triggered abilities. A triggered ability is when this creature does this, or as this creature does this, it does something else. In this case, when this card enters the battlefield, it does something, which is create a 1/1 soldier. The land on the right. I just remembered that my stream is delayed, and therefore me saying the land on the right will happen when the actual lands are not on the screen. Anyway, the land that was on the right, that was named Mutavault, had an activated ability of spend mana, spend 1 of whatever color, it becomes a 2/2 creature. That is an activated ability. I can do that at realistically any point in the game. I could do that on my opponent's turn and make a 2/2 blocker, or I could just do it on my turn to make a 2/2 that could attack, or I can do it just to put mana into it and then not actually do anything with it. Then there are the triggered abilities, which is when this enters or as this something, as some condition is met, do this effect. Like one of the other decks that I'll probably show off on the stream is when there is this specific land on the field and this specific creature on the field at the same time. Put the 2 cards together and do this other effect. The 2 cards coming together does a big splashy thing that really helps win the game from then on. Then something that this deck does not do much of is utilize the stack, which is this area that keeps popping up every time you first cast a spell, and then you wait to see if your opponent has anything to do in response to that spell. Your opponent can then say, yeah, it's okay, it resolves, or no, it's not okay, I have something that I'd like to do before it happens and before it enters the battlefield and does its effect. I'm definitely doing a horrible job explaining this, and I'm sorry. I'm just not great at explaining things, I guess. Yeah. So this creature has double strike. You read it up here. Deals both first strike and regular combat damage. It hits twice. Then it has a keyword ability of Connive, which does something else. Connive is draw a card, then discard a card. If that card that was discarded is a not land card, you get a +1/+1 counter, which permanently buffs your creature. And if it is a land card, it does not get bigger. So like this did 3 damage, and then the second strike does another 3 damage, so I took 6 total damage from that. I'm gonna keep this up. It's 3 mana. I'm just gonna attack. I don't know. I can't do much. Or at least I'm trying to get my opponent to think that I don't have anything to do. and so I'm attacking just because I'm knowing that I'm not going to block. I will declare no blocks. I will see what my opponent does. So first they connive, yes, you can get that effect. Sure, you can have protection from something. This is not a colorful spell. Does not look like you have anything else. A land is considered colorless, so therefore, by channeling, discarding this card from my hand, it deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. That creature was attacking, so I dealt 4 damage to it. It had 3 health, it died. Really? Oh, great. Oh hey, never mind. I can no longer complain about it. I'm gonna steal your creature and not let you have it back. I could play the land. Yeah, I'm gonna play the land. I'm gonna keep the untapped one. So, what you just witnessed, why asked me which one I wanted to keep. It's called the legend rule. Legendary, being this word right here on the land, means that I can only have one of that land, in this case, or one of that article, whether that is a creature or a planeswalker. I can only have one of that version on the battlefield at a time. Because it has some big effect that will drastically alter the game in some capacity. Let me show you what is actually in this deck to hopefully better explain that. We're going to go to this one, look inside of it. So, for instance, on the field, I can only have one of the Mina Harker on the field because it is a legendary creature. If I could have 2 or more of it on the field, that non-creature spells cost more to cast would get out of hand. And suddenly, if your opponent only has 3 lands and their spells cost 5 or 6, they can't cast anything. The next legendary creature I have is Myrel, Shield of Argive. If I could have multiples of these, whenever they attack, create X 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers I control. If 2 of them are on the field and they attack, the order in which they go onto the stack, which was that stuff on the right side, the first one would resolve and say, hey, you had 10 soldiers, so I'm going to make 10 more soldiers. Then the second one would go, hey, there are 20 soldiers on the field, let me make you 20 more soldiers on the field. And it would just become very excessive very, very quickly. So because of that, the legendary rule says, hey, you can only have one of this creature, in this case, on the field at a time. In this case, you can only have one of this land on the field at a time, because this land says pick a color, add mana to your color equal to the amount of colorful pips on the mana cost you have. So Gavony Dawnguard here has 1 white. So if I activate Nykthos and I've got Gavony Dawnguard on the field, I would get 2 white mana because I have 2 white mana symbols in the casting cost of this card. And then so on and so forth. I'd get 1 here, plus 1 here, plus 1 here for the Thraben Inspector, 1 from the Cathar Commando, so on and so forth. I hope that kind of made sense. It sort of explains that particular deck a little bit better. Knowing how broad I tend to be with being specific, I doubt that was very helpful. but I hope that it makes a bit of sense. So now we're fighting another guy. They got a Sarkon Vol, I think is this avatar. So I'm assuming they're red. They're playing red, because most people are like me and they put a avatar of the character onto their deck based off of the color of their deck. So in my case, I'm playing a white deck, so I picked this this character who represents the mana color of white as the face of this deck. However, okay, that's playing 3 colors: red, blue, and green deck. That makes me a little worried. Oh. Okay. What they just did is cast an instant, which can be played at any time. That instant was played on my turn instead of on my opponent's turn, and it returned the creature that I had. It did this effect at any time. What's this guy do? Enter the battlefield, put 1/1 counter on another target, and whenever creature you control dies, you gain a life. If that was an elemental, put a 1/1 counter on it. Brutal Cathar. When this creature enters the battlefield, exile, remove from the game a creature that opponent controls. Okay, I have a 3/3, they have a 3/3. I do not want to give them back their card though. So yeah, they're playing a red, green, blue deck. So, in other words, the color combination is called Temur, or if you go by some of the newer sets, it is Ketria, Ketria, which it's Temur, but a new set that tried to change the prescribed prefit set of 3 colors. My opponents keep conceding as soon as I get ahead by even a small margin, and it is just ever so slightly annoying because I just want to cast spells. I don't care about winning the games. Yes, there's this weekly win bonus and this daily win bonus that I can get. But I don't care about winning. I just want to cast my spells, and if I could have cast 9 spells each game, I would be done. But instead, they've quit as soon as they're even remotely behind. Instead of playing it out and seeing, like, hey, for all I know, they had a board wipe that they could have gotten, which would have killed all my creatures. I could overcommit in 1 turn, and then they could just bounce or kill everything on my field, and I just go, well, that was fun. I'm sad now. Great. Could have been that. But instead, that did not happen. Okay, let's see. In order to make this guy attack, I need to put this out first. Then I play the Mutavault. Then I play the Marshal, and then I attack with 1, 2. Yeah. I literally just talked through what I needed to do, and then did not do it. I'm gonna attack with this and see how they go. I doubt they'll block. I currently am in the lead with number of blockers. Oh, they're going human tribal. I'm going soldier tribal. They're going human tribal. Yep. So I can't activate this and make it a 2/2 creature right now, because it has this thing called Summoning Sickness, which basically just means the turn it enters, it cannot attack, block. Well, it can block, it can't attack. Do I attack with the... No. Okay. Ooh, someone else has finally joined. Hi, other person. Yeah, so this is magic. Oh, my opponent's not doing stuff. This card has Flash, which you may cast a spell Flash anytime you can cast an instant. So I can play it on my opponent's turn. Yeah, that's what that means. I could make it 2/2 and then attack with it. If I do that, no, I'm gonna try to draw a card and see if I can get to a land. I got to a land. Awesome. I'd love to play that. I still do not think that I could get through. Yeah, they got a 4/3, a 3/3, and a 2/3. Hello. I just realized that oh jeez, there's a human soldier werewolf that I have to deal with now. Which one's it taking? Recruitment officer. I'm not even using the recruitment officer, that's fine. The train of thought went off the rails. Poop. Where did it go? Man, I really lost my train of thought. Power and toughness. Yeah, that's the thing I should explain. Basically, everything has attack, power, and then toughness. So you got your attack, which is, in my rail's case, the left number is attack. It will deal 3 damage. And the right number is its health. It has 4 health. It's the easiest way to phrase it. I think I would like to attack with these guys, because that makes a soldier, and then this one makes more soldiers. Ta-da! Is my opponent going to block in such a way that I... Nope. So again, Flash. Put a 1/1 counter on each soldier. All their soldiers just got more damage. The other thing that this does, prevent all damage will be dealt to other attacking soldiers I control. So all my soldiers just survived. And they're not happy about it. Oh, this is fun. This is really fun. Oh, they flipped the thing. They stole my rescue retriever. Shocking. I'm not surprised at all. Let's see, 4, 5, lethal. Make this into a creature. Make this, make it into a creature. Cast the creature spell. And then, send 16 attackers. Make a 1. You. This one made sense. I was attacking him. Dark something? Dark Kunor? Yeah. I was attacking them. Yeah. Them. Safest option. Them. I was attacking them. That made sense that they would concede. I finished my quest. Awesome. Ooh. I got a card. It deals 2 damage to you, which sounds bad. Exile type card of your library. You can play this card this turn. When you play a card exiled with it, transform it. Goes from a 3/1 to a 4/3. That's slow. That's actually really slow. Because then... So first turn you play this, you can't do the ability. Second turn you play this, you take 2 damage, exile the top card, and then hope that you can play that card. And then if you play that card, it flips, but then you have a tapped 4/3 that cannot attack. that turn because it is tapped. And it can't block either. That's really slow, and it would lose in so many different situations. Yeah, that's just not worth it. It's not worth even thinking about as a card. Yeah. Well, now that we finished the quest, I have 5.5 hours until the next quest opens. So we're just gonna play for fun. So, there are numerous alternate ways you can win, besides just watch your opponent's life total hit 0. That is the most normal and traditional way to win the game. I am not someone who enjoys that win condition. I am someone who enjoys a lot more this deck archetype called Mill. Let's see what else I have. Self-mill, exile mill, exiling mill, milling, yeah, self-mill, rogue mill, Ravnica mill, story mill, yeah, I like mill decks a lot, and because of that, let me just show you why I like mill decks. So, the whole point of Magic is you want to play with your cards, right? You want to physically do stuff with your cards. You want to put them on the field. You want to look at them, see the pretty effects. Yeah, my decks say no, you don't get to play with your cards. They get to just sit in the graveyard and rot. That's the kind of fun I enjoy. So this card, whenever a permanent, which is anything that stays on the battlefield, becomes untapped. So whenever the steps of Magic, I'm getting ahead of myself. The steps of Magic, at the beginning of your turn, you untap, upkeep, and draw. There's this little thing above before you play. That's where we're looking. You got untap, which is making your lands usable again. Upkeep, which does any upkeep effect. Draw, which draws you a card. Then you move to combat, and then in combat there's a few more phases. And then you go out of combat, you have your second main phase. You can play a land there as well as during your first main phase. Things like that. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, I should have realized what they had. Oh no, that was bad. Well, anyways, untap, upkeep, draw, combat, second main phase. You can play a land if you haven't played one already. You can cast your sorcery spells again. And then your end of turn phase, which is when you say, hey, I'm done with my turn. If I have more than 7 cards in my hand, I have to discard cards to hand size, which is 7. Normally it's 7. And that's sad, they're killing my creature. Oh, they killed my creature. Oh no. Wow, that's my brain processes. Untap, upkeep, draw, combat, main phase, second main phase, end step. Yeah. So my opponent was playing a deck that wants their graveyard to be filled, and I'm playing a deck that says, yeah, fill your graveyard. You don't get to play your cards from your library. Put them in the graveyard. The card I just played says, yeah, put all those cards in the graveyard, get them out of the game. You can't use them anymore at all. Sorry. They don't exist in this game anymore. So they conceded because they need their graveyard to stick around. I love games like that where it's just like, oh, I just naturally counter your deck entirely. Sorry. It feels really mean when it happens in paper because you're actually sitting across from the person and that person can be physically and verbally upset at you and you just go, dude, sorry, this is just what happens. Well, you just get to sit there and watch as they cry. And you just go, huh, whoops. I think I won. Now I'm fighting a person named Mr. Lawyer. I hope they understand the rules of the game. Ooh, a Simic blue-green deck. I play this guy, who has the triggered ability of whenever a land enters the battlefield, each opponent, this is my opponent, puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. So, whenever I play a land, they lose cards from their library. So like this. This is my demonstration. It happens, goes on this deck. Oh, that's scary to me. Mana doubling and oh, okay. Okay. I am not gonna cast this until I get Bruvac down, because Bruvac doubles the milling that happens. If I can double the mill that happens, that just means that I'm going to be able to play this card and have target player mill 8 cards instead of 4. This will mill 20 cards instead of 10. The land entering will mill 6 instead of 3. Like, it exponentially grows, which is also why this guy is a legendary creature, so you can only have 1 on the field at a time. So if he wasn't legendary, you could have 2 or 3, and each of them makes it do more stuff. and doing more stuff, in this case, is really good. This is my favorite archetype for this exact reason. Because look at all these cards. These 3 cards are scary. Each one of these, in their own right, does something that makes scary happen. But because of my deck, those cards don't get to be played today. Because there's a very, very slim chance that they're gonna actively be able to get those cards back and do stuff with it. So as it stands, I'm gonna keep winning. I'm gonna cast this one. I'm gonna target them. They're gonna mill 20 cards. They've got 22 cards left in their library. I'm gonna play this card. This mills them for 6 more. They've got 16 cards left. I'm gonna play this card, which mills them for 4, 8. 8 cards left means that they're down to 8. And then this card, I could have won the game here if I had been smart. I could have milled them for 8, which would double to 16, and they had 16 cards left. I feel so close to being intelligent, but really not in that moment. They untapped the permanent, so they milled 2. Haha. Yeah. I could have won the game right there. Could have. But I did not, which kind of sucks. Because it means that I gave them another turn that they could have killed me too. That's why you want to try and beat your opponent as fast as you can. Because that turn right there, if they were some sort of combo deck, they could have just gone, yeah, I put my hand onto the battlefield and win. And I just have to go, oh, well, I guess I lost. That's why it's important to try to win on your turn every time. So that's my favorite kind of archetype, playing mill. You can make it be best of 3, which is you play at least 2 games, and in between those 2 games, or in between the 3 games total, you can change your sideboard and bring that into the deck to try and change your deck to be able to do more against your opponent. Let's not play best of 3. Let's just show. Ooh, audience participation. Do you want to play this pretty 4-color deck, or do you want to play this pretty 1-color deck? Or do you want to see death? Sacrificial death. This is the part of the audience participation. Haha. Because I have an audience, you get to decide. Now I just have to wait for the stream to catch up, because I realized that there's like a 10-second delay? 15-second delay? I don't remember exactly. Audience participation. Do I play the Rakdos Sacrifice, the Elemental, or this one labeled Titania's Lands? Sacrificial Death. I'm not surprised that that's the pick. I should go to the format that this is actually playable in, so that I don't get blown out of the water. I'm crazy. Alright, Rakdos Sacrifice. This is a deck that utilizes sacrifice outlets, which let you sacrifice your cards to accrue more and more value than your opponent. My opponent's name is Charlene. I love that. That's funny. Let's see. Yeah, that's a keepable hand. Sacrificial Death was the vote, so we're gonna play Rakdos Sacrifice. My opponent's playing Obosh, so all of their decks are odd. All of their decks, all of their mana costs are odd. Let's undo that. I don't want to. Gosh, alright. I'm gonna pay 2 life and play this red card. I deal 1 damage to my opponent. Oh, Obosh, but in green-black. Interesting. Normally this card signifies that your opponent is playing some sort of cast spell, lower opponent life total via the spell style deck. So it's a little interesting. So this is the one of the sacrifice outlets I've got. It has tap, sacrifice, and artifact. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. Yeah, not just one opponent, to each opponent. And then in so doing, I will gain 1 life, and I will hurt my opponent for 1. Ooh. This is how you use the stack. They declared their blocker, so they said, yeah, put that guy in front. And then before damage happened here, because they had said, yeah, this other guy is gonna take the damage for me. That other guy still was assigned to take the damage, but then they're already dead, so there's no damage that can be done to that creature. I don't have a way to keep doing damage to my opponent because that blocker was assigned. They sacrificed to their creature so that they would not need to worry about getting their own creature killed. There is no way I just explained that very well. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oops. Alright. We're just gonna make an untapped creature by doing that. So basically I'm trying to get this card to be able to do its stuff. It has the ability to revolt if another permanent I control left the battlefield. So whether it got sacrificed, killed, or destroyed, or exiled, or yeah, well, no, that's it. Everything else just makes it do one of those effects. If one of my things leaves the battlefield, then this can get rid of this creature here. And if I can get rid of this creature here, this is typically a combo creature. This says tap, add 2 mana of any combination of colors. But it can each skeleton you control trample text is coming in plus the X is never in the sky at the beginning. Come on, current tap 1 on the light sky. If this creature dead, screen 2 as its tokens instead. Okay. Interesting. I don't know what that does exactly. I'm going to preemptively kill my creature so that I can then kill their creature. What are you going to do with that mana? You're not doing anything with that mana. Okay. I'm realizing how much I'm talking because my throat is starting to really hurt. Because I'm not used to this much consistent talking. But I'm trying to get used to it so that I can be more active in streaming, if that makes sense. I want to stream more, so I am trying to talk more so that I can get better as a streamer. I hope that all makes sense. It's got trample? What? Each skeleton you control has trample. Okay, that's where that makes sense. Tax each comment of Able. It's plus X plus overreach. So, okay. Okay. So it has to attack. Because of that, I'm going to choose to block. But every time one dies... Oh, no. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. I'm gonna eat my food right now. And hurt them for 1. Yeah, you that's 4. That's 4 of them. Aha! This is where the sacrifice outlet thing goes. This guy says whenever a player sacrifices something, like how I'm sacrificing this land to go find another land, it shoots something for 1. For 1 point of damage. So because I sacrificed this land, I deal 1 point of damage to anything. I chose to do 1 point of damage to the skeleton, which kills the skeleton. And now, I have so many more opportunities to kill all of these skeletons. Ta-da! It's dead. And I still deal damage to my opponent's face. That's how this deck is supposed to work. See, I generate value by sacrificing things to do more damage, to do more death to my opponent. Now you understand why this deck is called Recto Sacrifice, or as I phrased it, Sacrificial Death. It does stuff. As the memes go, look, Ma, it does things. It's working. It's just working. Are you happy, Mom? It works. Or the son or the father person going, are you winning, son? This says yes. Yes, I am. Oh, yep. Now I put that in front. And then before damage, I say sacrifice. No, let damage happen. So it only has 1 health. And then I sacrifice this to deal another point of damage to it. Now I sacrifice this guy. No, I sacrifice. No, I don't sacrifice anything. Those are monstrously big. Wow. As an additional cost, I sacrifice an artifact. By sacrificing an artifact, I deal 1 point of damage at this guy. And by sacrificing an artifact, I get another little creature guy. And do all the effects of those creature guys. I can now also then sacrifice this guy who cannot attack to deal. Why am I targeting that guy? That does 1, 2. I can do 3, 4, 5. I can kill my opponent. Which is the best way to win. The best way to win the game is by killing my opponent. And killing my opponent wins the game. I was thinking really weird to be able to try to make things work. Yeah, if I sacrifice this treasure to make a mana, I deal 1 damage, I can then sacrifice my creature because that's its ability. And by sacrificing the creature, I shoot him in the face for another 1. So yeah, I win the game. I could then also cast my Sheoldred the Apocalypse, because that's fun. Its name has the Apocalypse in it. I think my game might have crashed, because nothing's happening on my screen. My opponent is missing, and I don't have a logout button. So there's a chance that I need to restart the game. Huh. I haven't had this happen. Interesting. I guess I will be right back as I restart Magic Arena. In the meantime, you can listen to me talk. You're already kind of doing that anyways, but that's okay. And then I get to figure out whether or not this is gonna just come right back up or not. Okay, let's see. It should be working. It shows that it is loading. It shows that everything is working. Let's see. Is it coming back? I think it is. It looks like it. Is it going to work? It looks like it is working. I have more mastery tree stuff to do. Look, it's a mastery tree. It's almost a full pentagon now. I get all these pretty artworks. That's what this thing is. Yeah, this is the mastery pass. It's kind of like a battle pass sort of thing, where you unlock this bottom side by spending actual money. But I figured once I'm already at like here or so, and I'm actively playing it anyways, I may as well just buy it so that I can actually like do more and have a reason to play. Because like, look, this is the end of it. I just have to get 80, and then I get this guy. Well, I don't want a level boost. Nope. I get to here. No, I just want you to see this artwork. Look at the pretty guy. The pretty human soldier. I have another human soldier deck that is white, blue, and green, and it runs this guy in it. And I wanted this artwork, but the only way to get this artwork was to do the mastery pass. So yeah, I spend money on this game. Not a lot, but enough to find happiness. Because I don't get a lot of happiness anyways. Let's phrase it that way because it's funnier. If anyone just randomly tuned in on that, that would be very awkward. I'm gonna play the other two decks. The other two decks that weren't requested. This one's Elementals. Basically, this deck tries to play the card types Elemental, and then those Elementals do more things when more Elementals enter the battlefield, and then the effects get bigger to do more things to Elementals, which makes more Elementals bigger, so that hopefully they all can attack and kill my opponent pretty quick. So once again, this is a combat deck where my opponent's life total needs to hit 0. Because that's how you win the game of Magic in this case. Growth Spiral is really good, except for I don't have blue mana. But I do have Cultivate, which would get me 2 blue mana, and Fertilid would get me to blue mana as well. So basically this is turn 4. My turn 4. I can play Growth Spiral into Growth Spiral. Yeah, I think that's okay. It's not fast, but it also will give me all 4 colors of my deck. Or I can just play that and get blue right away. Perks of going second. You draw a card. My opponent has a Pinocchio and is playing Merfolks. I hate Merfolks. Not because they're strong, but because they're annoying to play against. Let's play some Growth Spirals. We're gonna put this guy down. I'm not gonna pay any life, because I don't need to. Yeah. Okay. I'm realizing why so many people drink water while streaming. Wow. I've literally been talking solidly for an hour. Even when no one was here and it was just me, I was still talking solidly for an hour. Dang. If I cultivate, I get a tap land, but if I play Growth Spiral, I get to play both my lands. Let's see, let's do this first. I will pay 2 life to have green. I'll then do green and blue. Play Growth Spiral. I'll play this Plains. Now I can also cultivate, which will get me a forest and an island. I would like to put the forest into play. So it is their turn 3, now their turn 4, and I have 6 lands. But they have scary Merfolks, and those Merfolks are big right now. That's 8, 9, 10, that's 11 damage. I'm down to 4. All I have done is ramp, and I think I might die before I get to do anything. Let's do this. I can play whenever land enters the battlefield. I get life. I'm gonna play this land. I'm gonna get a life. I'm gonna play this Leafkin Druid, which is not a land. I'm gonna play this Fertilid, which is also not a land, but they are creatures that can block stuff, so I will still die. My opponent will get through with at least 6 damage, and I have 5 life. There's somewhere in there that you could do the math, and now it's 8 damage, and if you do the math, that is still more than my 5 life, and then they just put all of my creatures to sleep, literally with the card sleep, so I couldn't even have stopped. Okay. Yep. I lost, which isn't the first time. I lose more games than I win. I think that's a true statement. I don't know. I don't know where or if I can actually look up the thing, the statistics of that. Now we move on to Titania's Lands. So this deck, quick description, is put lands in my own graveyard, play cards that either bring the lands back from the graveyard or use more green mana to do more green mana. Like these guys here, whenever they attack, I may mill 3 cards. Just put the cards in the graveyard. Then when they die, I return all the land cards from my graveyard to the battlefield. So the whole point of this deck is put my lands in the graveyard, and then later on, get them all back. All you gotta do is kill this guy, and then suddenly I get all my cards back. Or if I have the legendary land and the legendary creature. It's not a legendary land. If I have... I played a forest! I didn't even get to play the game! That's so bumming! I wanted to play the game. This was a decent hand. I could do whatever. Oh, that was such a disappointment. Wow. I don't think I've ever been more disappointed as quickly in playing this. I know I've had games where I've tried to play the mill deck and I just play an island. I didn't even really look at this hand. Yeah, that's pretty decent. Okay. I've played the mill deck where I've played an island into the ruin crab. Or the crab that mills my opponent. And then they just concede because they don't want to play against mill. Which is understandable. Mill is hated on in a lot of formats. Most people want to play with their cards, not put their cards in the graveyard. I've never seen someone concede off of, I played a forest. I didn't even get to cast the spell, the creature that I had. It was just, I played a forest. This land sacrifices itself, it puts itself in the graveyard, but it replaces itself with a forest. Or a mountain, or a plains. I don't run either of those, so it replaces itself with a forest. But it makes this guy get bigger as long as I have 3 more land cards. Right now I have 1 land card, and that's really nifty because when I get to 3 or more land cards in the graveyard, he gets bigger. And then when I get to 3 or more land cards, I can also do all these other effects that make things do more stuff. And when they do more stuff, I do more things. And when I do more things, I have more stuff to do. Right? That's how cyclic logic works. That was a hard sentence to say, and I did not think that it would be a hard sentence to say. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should explain what just happened. This guy puts 3 cards into my graveyard. I could put a land card from among them onto the battle or into my hand, but if I don't, which I chose not to, there's still a land in there. It gets a +1/+1 counter, which is a permanent buff to it. And then with that permanent buff, they do more things. They do more damage. I'm not gonna attack with the 0-3 because he does no damage. But right now I have 2 cards in the graveyard. And I can activate the Elvish Reclaimer. I can use his ability to get rid of one of my lands to find another land that would then do more stuff. Part of that more stuff is make Titania have more things. Beginning of upkeep. So I want to... No, beginning of upkeep, the game itself, because it's an online game, does not let me stop. Yeah, it does not give me an instance of priority at some place where I can actually do what I'm thinking I can do. Draw 2 cards, create a treasure token. Yeah, they can do that. These treasures are cool. They look nice. Pile of gems falling out of a chalice. It's pretty nifty. They got a blue dragon over here. I've got an Urzen Sentinel. I think my Urzen Sentinel looks a bit better. It's kind of cool. Oh yeah, so the whole point of this deck, I realize it's on the battlefield and I can actually talk about what my deck does. First and foremost, my Elvish Reclaimer is going to sacrifice a land, which will put another land onto the battle. I can do this now, I forgot about that. I choose this land that sacrifices itself, which then gets me another land. So now, Titania does this cool thing, where if I have this Titania, and I have the land that was on the field that sacrificed itself, when I have both of those, they become a big guy. And when they become a big guy, it brings back all of my lands from the graveyard to the battlefield, which then does all of their effects again. And then because I do all the effects again, they keep getting bigger. And Titania is big based off of the number of lands I have. And so the more lands I have, the bigger Titania gets. And the bigger Titania gets, the bigger she does and does more damage. And the more damage she does, the more my opponent dies. And the more my opponent dies, the more that I win. And the more that I win, the happier I pretend to feel. I think I feel happy. This is my way to cure depression. Please love me. Oh, you can destroy another target creature? Don't kill my creature. No, my creature. Aww, my creature died. Anyways, we're just gonna make the other creatures bigger. Yeah, proliferate. For everything that has a counter on it, I can make it have another counter. So now it has 3. And now it has 2 counters on it. I'm going to see if my opponent realizes what I can do, or is just stupid. Are they paying attention? Are they paying attention? Find out next time. Nope, they're not paying attention. Alright, I'm just going to sacrifice. I'm going to sacrifice one of the tapped lands. Okay, my opponent is not paying attention. We're going to get this land, which then lets me proliferate. So now I have a 4-4 that kills their 5-4. Yay! Ta-da! I'm winning. I lost my creature, but that's okay. Also, was that the right call? I should have probably gotten a land that then sacrifices itself so I could get another land so that I could proliferate twice. I should have proliferated twice, because then I would have also hit them for 1 and been able to get a new land and proliferate again. Granted, my creature still would have been dead, so I couldn't have proliferated it. Yeah, I guess I technically misplayed. Well, whatever. Things happen. I am not the most efficient player. I do not play the best. I will never proclaim that I am the best at this, or that I can play the best. And now my opponent's doing something. Jesus, where's that one? Oh. Pay life equal to its power. It was prototyped. Okay. Create a 2/2 bear. Yeah, let's do that. Mill myself 3 cards. I would have liked all of those cards, actually. I'm not gonna choose to do that. Let's see. Do I have a way to get around that? Nope. I have to hope that my opponent attacks with a 4/4. I'm upset. I would have liked to have had Titania. I'm not gonna attack. We'll let them attack first so that I can then counter attack for more damage than what they would do to me. Nope. I pulled my earbuds out without meaning to. Move to the opponent's turn. Combustible Gearhulk. If that player doesn't, you mill 3 cards and deals damage to the player equal to the total mana value of those cards. You know what? I'm not gonna let you draw 3. Ow. That was 8 damage. That was 8 damage, and most of it came from 1 card. Eek. Mill some more cards, make more token. No! I needed that one too. Play land. I'm not gonna put a counter on that and make it bigger. This says first strike. I don't think I like that. Yeah, let's just pass the turn. This is where the game gets to the point of I can't feasibly attack my opponent. You know what? You can have 3 cards this time. Because you can only ever cast 1 at a time. Let's put a 0/3 in front of it. The 0/3 does nothing. Nissa! Nissa's my favorite planeswalker. No particular reason. She's just great. Yeah, just her being great. That's it. Okay. Yeah. There's a good chance I find Nissa slightly attractive, like 1%, and it's kind of cool. But shh, we're not gonna tell anyone that. Yeah. Don't tell anyone. I literally have a in-paper deck, so I spent money on it. A deck of cards that are all of Nissa. I call it a Nissa tribal deck, but there's not actually a tribe of Nissa, but it is all of the Nissas that have been printed in Magic history to play with a bunch of Nissas on the field, so I can just be like, look, army of cool girls. If you don't play a card from Exodus, from create a tap power interest. Okay. Yeah, they could do that. Yeah. I'm gonna sacrifice my Boseiji so I can get this Brocker's heat out. Now I'm gonna proliferate. I'm gonna not actually butcher these names or these words because I realize not everyone who's watching actually understands the game. So now I can do this thing called -8, which I get an emblem, which is a state-based thing. Lands I control have indestructible. And then I'm going to grab all of the rest of the forest in my deck, which was 1. I only had 1 more forest in my deck. And then my 7/7 indestructible trample vigilance creature is going to attack. It's also a land. That's why it's indestructible. Haha. Yeah. Oh, they just took it. I don't have any more. No, I needed. That was a mistake. I should have used it so I could have gotten another bear token, because the other bear token would have been a pretty good blocker to just have. Yeah. You strive to one target non-land permanent as control cards. Aww. They killed my Nissa. It's okay. It's okay. I don't need Nissa. I don't need a Nissa. Exile it? You're exiling it? They exiled my land! They should have, so it makes sense. Comes a 0/0 green spirit creature with haste. Ooh, how big could I make this? 11, 12, -2. I can make it 10/10. Let's make it 10/10. Oh. No, it needs to be in. Can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. I'm gonna go 10. I'm gonna put on this forest. Yeah. I make it 10/10 with trample because if I have counters on stuff, it gets trample. I make it 10/10 with trample. So I hit you for 4. And then I'd get a basic land, which I don't have any of in my deck anymore. Yay. Oh, they can. Okay, they were right to concede. Yeah. Okay. I like that deck too because it's green. I genuinely prefer blue decks, but at the same time, that one's a fun deck for me. Let's see. I can do. Let's play with this deck. This is the deck that I played in ranked for a while, so like it kind of actually mattered what I did and whether I tried to win each turn or not. Excuse me. But this is the fun deck that sometimes unintentionally can break the arena client because of how many things happen. And it'll take almost a full turn, if not way more than a full turn, to let everything happen. Yeah, I think this is an okay hand. It's not great, but it's okay. Do this. I play this guy. This enchantment's legendary, so I can only have 1 of it, but it makes a token. My opponent doesn't like that it makes a token. Be smart, opponent. Get Kaya. Take Kaya. You should really take Kaya. It's a Planeswalker. Ha, I baited them into taking the Planeswalker. I'm gonna play the other side of my, or the other color of my deck. So this guy gives me 1 life every time a creature token enters the battlefield. So this thing makes a creature token. This thing makes a creature token. This one that they got rid of doubles my creature tokens. So it's just fun to go, yep, there's a token, I gain a life, attack. They're not gonna block, yeah. They take 2, I gain 1 because this guy's got lifelink, and damage dealt by a creature with a lifelink, also caused me to gain life. So now I get life, and because I got life, I kill. Now I attack with 3 creatures, which flips that over. And I get to see how they would like to block. Interesting. They just want to kill that. Do I keep my creature alive? I think the answer is yes. I deal 2, I pass the turn. I can still create a vampire token. And when I create the vampire token, it'll trigger the Anointed Priest, which will get me a life. And then I've also got this Bastion of Remembrance, which has whenever a creature I control dies, each opponent loses a life and I'll gain a life. Oh, creatures have menace. I can't block now. I'm going to make a token. I'm going to gain a life. I'm going to not block and get hurt. Wow, that hurt. Let's see. We're going to play this Renegade map. And then do I attack? I'm going to say no, because they all have menace. And now I need to block more than I need to attack. Oh, that's not good. So whenever a black creature or that creature enters the battlefield, I get hurt. What? Did they pay life for that? What do they need the blue mana for? Oh, to Mutavault. I make a token at your end step? Let's play a cat. Then we pass the turn. So yeah, the 2 actual creatures I have, oh, that's why they did that. The 2 creatures I have, the Sacred Cat and the Anointer Priest, have this cool keyword ability of Embalm, so I can pay this mana cost and bring them back as a creature token. So this Kaya over here that I could have played if they didn't get rid of it, till end of my turn, if 1 or more tokens would be created in my control twice, 2 of those tokens are created instead. So if I have that and use that ability, Anointer Priest comes back as a token, but it comes back as 2 tokens instead. And then each of those Anointer Priests says whenever a creature token enters the battlefield, I gain life. So it would get me 2 creature tokens, which would then increase. It gets big. I can do a lot. I'm going to attack with the Sacred Cat. See what they do. Because I doubt they will think to block. No, they are blocking. Okay. Oh yeah, they have what, I forgot about that. Forgot about that, but that's okay. I'm gonna move to the end step. Let them take their turn. They're gonna create the token, which will hurt me for 1. This is gonna be a long, drawn-out game until I can way out life gain them. Wow. 3 Pipers of the Swarm. Considering you can only 4 in the deck, and you probably have way more rat colonies than you need. A deck can have any number of rat colonies, of any number of cards in rat colony, so they can play with more. I don't want to do that now. 1, 2, 3. Activate that. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, I don't have many ways to do anything. I think they're gonna be able to make more rats than I can make tokens. Actually, no, that's not a I think. It is a I know they can make more rats from their creatures. They could spend 6 mana in a turn and make 3 creatures. Whereas I can spend 3 mana to make 1 creature and 4 mana to make another creature, but I don't have 9 land. Oh no. With power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. Okay. Okay. I see what they're going for. I see what they're going for. I think I technically die. I'm gonna plumb the forbidden and just say that guy's gone, that guy's gone, that's good. I would like to have all of those resolved first so that I can gain some life and train my opponent. And then have all the copies of that resolve. Yep. See, this makes more tokens, this makes more tokens, this makes tokens. Yeah. I don't think I have a way to survive this. I only have planes in my deck. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. Yep. I died. So yeah, this is the deck that I play best of 3 of the most with, because now I would be able to just board against that to be able to have board wipes to kill all of my opponent's creatures. So I think I've been streaming for an hour and a half, so I think I'm gonna call it here, because this is the first stream that I've actually been talking the entire time, and it's actually kind of hurting now. Like, my throat feels very sore and raspy right now. So I'm going to call it here, and I will be streaming tomorrow at 9 o'clock as well, for Tower Defense Tuesday. I'm going to play some version of Kingdom Rush, because I still haven't picked out which one. I might just start with the first one, and eventually when I beat it, go to the second one, third one, and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to play another game that I don't normally play. I don't normally stream on Mondays. At least I don't plan on normally streaming on Mondays. I really enjoy streaming, so I might keep streaming on Mondays more than often than I say I will. Which I know will end up being a problem at some point, because I will get burned out from streaming too much if I keep doing it. So I will hopefully stick to not streaming on Mondays as frequently, especially with how much I'm talking. My throat hurts a lot right now. So this is it for the stream today. I will see you all later, tomorrow for Tower Defense Tuesday, and have a good night, people. Good luck on classes and homework and work and life and mental health, and good luck in finding my stream tomorrow too. Please. Or remembering things. I don't know. And have a good night, people. Bye.